Hi guys, it's Lindsay. Welcome back to The Wandering Reader. Today I'm going to be doing a review of This Is Going to Hurt by Adam Kay. This is one of the books that I picked up for Non-Fiction November, and it's the first non-fiction book that I finished during the month, and I absolutely loved it. This is a book that is told from a junior doctor in the NHS in Britain. So he's no longer a junior doctor, but he was a junior doctor. So it says here, Secret Diaries of a Junior Doctor. And now I think he's a scriptwriter in the UK and things like that. I'd never heard of Adam Kay before. I don't know. Yeah, maybe you guys have. So this was very recently published. I think it came out in September. And when I saw it, I was immediately intrigued by it. I read Paul Kalanithe's When Breath Becomes Air at the beginning of the year and really liked it. So I was immediately intrigued by this. It's kind of got that medical kind of feel to it. This is a series of diaries that Adam Kay wrote when he was both a junior doctor and then kind of when he was working his way up. So the book is split up into sections, and the first section is him as what he calls a house officer, and he explains what all of these terms mean, and then he moves on to senior house officer, registrar and senior registrar. And so you get all of these different sections where he's working his way up the ladder and where he's at different posts in different hospitals. And he basically talks about his experience of working as a doctor in all of these different posts that he's had. This is both laugh out loud hilarious, but also really upsetting and frustrating at the same time. So there are loads of moments in this book where I was laughing out loud all the time. It was really funny. Things that had happened to him, things that patients said, you know, things that patients came into the hospital with and the kind of story behind it. I mean, you just can't make this stuff up, basically. So yeah, it was really funny. So if you're looking for a book that's going to make you laugh, I would definitely recommend picking this one up. But also, I said that it was really frustrating and quite upsetting at times, because I think a lot of us realise how tough a job it is being a doctor, but I don't think I realised the full extent of that, and this really opened my eyes to it. It opened my eyes to a system that seems to be falling apart and seems to be pushing doctors to the brink of exhaustion, to the brink of, I don't really know how to describe it, but yeah, it's a system that's broken and that doesn't have enough money being invested in it, and that is treating its staff really badly. So there was also a lot of moments in here when he was discussing the realities of being a doctor in the NHS, and where, you know, I was just sitting there thinking, this is utterly dreadful. How can, you know, our government not realise how terrible things are and not realise that things can't run in this particular way? But he talks about the fact that because you're a doctor, one of the reasons that people become doctors is because they have this innate need and want to help people. So, you know, it's not like other jobs where at the end of the day at 5:30 and your boss says to you, would you mind just staying behind, I don't know, to take this phone call or whatever. You can say no because you've got something up or whatever. It's not a life or death situation. But he talks about these really long shifts that he has to do, and you had to do anyway, and talked about the fact that, you know, if at the end of your shift you're bleeped and somebody is, I don't know, at bleeding, or, you know, something happens, you can't go home. It is a life or death situation. If you were to leave, that patient would probably die. So I think it seems to me that the NHS is running on people's kindness and goodwill, and that's not really sustainable in my opinion. So yeah, this was a really thought-provoking book. but also a really funny book. Like I said, I absolutely flew through it, and I think this would be a good one to read if you're sort of a novice when it comes to non-fiction, or have the opinion that non-fiction can sometimes be a little bit stuffy and a little bit heavy. This is the complete opposite to that, and I think everybody who picks it up will really enjoy it. I've spent quite a bit of time saying to my husband, you need to pick this up, you need to pick this up, so I'm really looking forward to when he does, because I wanted to read out so many quips from this, but at the same time really wanted him to read it, so I was sort of really biting my tongue over it. But yeah, an absolutely fantastic book, would really recommend it, and I gave it 5 stars. So there you go guys, that was my review of This Is Going to Hurt by Adam Kay. I'd love to have a chat with you in the comments below. Have you read this? What did you think of it? But also, have you got any other recommendations of sort of medical non-fiction that you've read that you think I would enjoy as well? Because I'm sort of really starting to get into that sort of book. So I would love to have a chat with you about that in the comments below too. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.